It's been a minute. So,
Hello.
like Arnold says, I'm back. All right. So, who got what? Who's got some comments? Joanna or Pat?
I got that she's weak, that she feels kind of dizzy. I saw her lying down. I'm just going to say what I got, which is she is not sure at this point if she is ready to go. But if that was the case, she would be sort of at peace with it because she's just not feeling herself.
Great. Who else got something? Thanks, Joanna. Who else got something for Pat? Terry. Here you are.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pat, what I got was also about peace. I'm very much at peace, is what I got. And please don't you worry.
Yeah, that's Bernice.
She's concerned about you being worried, but she just was kind of very matter of fact. I'm very much at peace, is what I got.
Sweet. Okay. Who else got something for Pat?
Thank you. That would be very much Bernice, yes.
Yeah. Lily.
Yeah, I also got not to worry. I also got that she wants to be outside to be out listening to the birds, and she wants you guys to be there with her. I got that it's like on the right side that it's bothering her eye and her ear. I'm not really sure, but that she doesn't want you to worry, and she just wants to be in nature with you guys.
Right? Does that
Thank
make
you.
sense to you?
Yes, it does, very much.
How so?
Bernice is a caregiver, and she has, in the last several years, cared for her mother who lived with them with Alzheimer's, and she cared for her in the home up until it was not even possible anymore. Then, like in their own home, and then she was in a home not far away, and Bernice was there every day. And then her mom passed. Then her sister got cancer. Her sister came and lived with them and died in their house. Her sister's husband was not the most useful, and her sister has 3 girls, and Bernice practically raised those girls. She's my uncle's second wife. She practically raised his granddaughters. And her brother just died, and then her other sister got cancer, and she went to the Okanagan to be with her for a month or two until her sister passed. And my uncle's health is not good, and so she looks after him all that. She does everything.
Wow.
And yeah, so it would be just Bernice to say, you guys don't worry. I got this. I'm fine. and yeah. And interestingly, this morning I wanted to, I very much wanted to do this, and it didn't work that I had that opportunity. And I was telling my roommate, I was telling him.
Who's her partner, lover? Yeah. But she calls him her roommate, you guys. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was telling him that, and we had a break. I think it was lunch, and I looked at my phone, and he had texted me a big long text, and we're going there to Saskatoon in June to bury my mom on June 14th, and so we'll visit with them, Jim and Bernice. And he was asking, could you, when you're here, could you make some food for her? Because usually I go there and make a big stew, like it's Irish mom stew. But can you make organic things that don't have gluten and dairy, which I can't eat, and she doesn't want it this time. And so while I was thinking that I really wanted to do this and have Bernice scanned, he was thinking of what I could do for her would be make her some food.
Nice. And how do you see that correlating with one another?
Well, I was thinking about him and her, and he was thinking he was catching my vibe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay. Anybody else have anything for Pat?
Pat, it's Tessa. I asked her what she would like, and she said more time, but she was at peace. And then I asked her what she would like from you, and she said for you to visit. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, she's always very thankful for my visits, because my uncle gets, like, he can be kind of bummed out a lot of the time and very low energy. And when I visit, I get him out of that. And so, and her along with them. So yeah, that's Bernice as well. You guys are really connected to Bernice.
Yeah. And connected to you to get to Bernice. So great job, everybody, on that. What I got, Pat, first of all, is she's not in any of the phases of transition. So
That's
she's,
what I really wanted to
yeah, she's not dying at the moment, because remember, we can't
Yep.
scan her from a medical standpoint if she is. At least I can't. You guys might be able to, but I haven't been able to do that when somebody's dying. I had forgotten that you said it was brain cancer. It did go to her brain first. It looks like it has metastasized to me out of her brain. Looks like it's in her lymph nodes. Looks like I'm seeing little splotches of it in other parts of her body. When I see cancer in my mind's eye, it can look black or brown. It looks uneven. Think of a head of cauliflower, how that's kind of lumpy and uneven sometimes. And it has a sticky consistency to it that feels like, it reminds me of hot tar when a road is being paved. It's kind of sticky and thick. And when I see cancer that's metastasized, it reminds me of looking at a dairy cow, where the cow is white and has black splotches in different parts of the body with her. I did the full cancer healing on her. If you're short for time, you guys, when you're doing healings, and I'll do this if I don't have a lot of time to do it, I'll condense them all so they're all happening at the same time. I'm young enough to remember the plate spinners of years ago, where on the Ed Sullivan Show or whatever, and they'd have a plate spinning on a pole, and then they'd start another one, then I'd go back and start, making sure all those plates are spinning. So I equate that to that. But I watched the lymph cleanse, I watched the lymph node extraction, I watched the DNA healing. Looks to me like she's had the COVID shots. Got those out of
lots
her.
of them.
Yeah, got those out of her. And again, we're seeing this huge increase in cancer in people that have had the COVID shots, because it whacks the immune system, keeps the immune system in a heightened immune response. And the body doesn't need to be in that much inflammation all the time. So did the mRNA healing to get that out, get that stuff out of her. But these healings, when they're layered, they remind me of, have any of you experienced, perhaps when you were in school, a teacher that would use an overhead projector and a transparency to teach? And let's say they were talking about anatomy, and they'd have a transparency of the body, and then they'd put another transparency on top of it, and it would be the vascular system, and then another one, it would be the skeletal system. It would be that. So that's what those healings look like to me when they're layered. The other thing that I got for her, Pat, was to get her the information on Tom Friedman, PhD, Thomas Friedman, Seyfried, 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 Thomas Seyfried. He's at Boston College, and he has been doing cancer research for 30 years. And he is one of the few guys that I've heard who talks about how cancer is caused by glucose and fermentation. And he talks about he's done lots of interviews, so you'll be able to find them. But he says that when they take tumors out of like a rat and they euthanize the rat and they put the tumor in an environment that's outside of the rat, if it's the right environment, the tumor will continue to grow on its own, which is amazing.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's good that she's not doing gluten and dairy and sugar and stuff like that, because glucose, any kind of glucose, helps it spread, and so does fructose, and so does fermentation. So wine, beer, alcohol, kimchi, sauerkraut, yogurt, vinegar, soy sauce, all pickles, all that jazz. Have her stay away from fermented things. And then the last thing is the personality profile for cancer, and I mentioned this earlier with my friend Donald who passed, is they're really good at taking care of everybody else, not good at receiving. And so it brings them to their knees if that's something their spirit wants to experience, to really get her attention. Like, we're going to force you to experience receiving. And so that's not what she wants to do, but it's going to come in the form of people like you coming and cooking for her, people like the doctors and the medical providers helping her. So
yeah, that's what comes strongly for me is this is as a result of her inability to receive.
Yeah.
And her need to control
Right.
her environment and it started in her brain because it's just always focused on that, always tight, always like I see it just being strangled.
Mm-hmm. Because the fear, if you unpacked it, if there was a psychologist that wanted to unpack it, it would be that's how she feels needed. That's how she feels seen. That's how
She's not worth anything if she's
right.
not.
She's
being
not taking
helped.
care of somebody. And my other question is, all those people in the family with cancer, what the heck? Where did they live? What were they exposed to?
Well, on a farm.
Okay. So Roundup and, all the
all that
chemicals used
stuff.
on the, yeah.
Probably they were spraying the crops right beside where the kids were running around barefoot.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always a correlation there.
Julie, were you able to close whatever hole she has in her energetic?
I didn't get there just from a
Okay.
time standpoint, but you can do that with her when you're with her.
Yeah,
Yeah, if she's
Yeah.
open for that. So I hope that gives you some information. Look up this Thomas Seyfried. He's brilliant.
I will. Thank
Yeah,
you so
he's
much.
terrific. You bet.
Thank
Okay, who's next? Who wants to go next? Annalisa, you want to go next?
I'll go.
There you are. Okay, great.
Well, I have been told that I need to step forward and receive.
Okay.
'Cause I'm not a good receiver.
Most women
Maybe-
aren't. We're not raised to be receivers. We're raised to be givers.